Today, we're going to break down a really powerful and honestly quite candid interview with Naureen Khan. Now, she is the sister of Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan, and through her eyes, we get a look into the story of personal struggle, a major critique of state institutions, and what she sees as a defiant stand against an effort to just erase her brother from public life. So let's start with just one number, 899. As of January 20th, that's how many days Naureen Khan's brother had been in prison. You know, this single figure, it isn't just a statistic. It's really the foundation for the urgency and the frustration that you can feel in everything she says. So what would make her and her sisters stand outside Adyala Jail week after week, especially when they're facing alleged harassment? Well, her answer really gets to the very heart of their mission. She sees their vigil as more than a protest. It's a crucial act of witness. It's their way of making sure her brother isn't simply forgotten behind those prison walls. Okay, so let's first dig into that struggle right outside the jail itself. This weekly vigil has become a pretty powerful symbol, and according to Naureen, it's been a really difficult and confrontational experience. The consistency here is just remarkable. Every single Tuesday, no matter what. But this is no passive wait. Naureen describes having to endure harassment, even claiming that water and chemicals have been thrown at them. It's a direct confrontation, and it's all driven by that one powerful goal: preventing her brother from disappearing from the public mind. So, from this very personal struggle on the streets, Naureen's critique gets a lot bigger. It expands to target one of Pakistan's most powerful institutions, the judiciary. And listen, she holds nothing back. She alleges that the judges know the cases against her brother are weak, but they still hand down guilty verdicts. She directly questions their conscience, asking how they can justify sentencing people who she believes are innocent. And then she makes this really powerful historical comparison. She draws a straight line from Justice Munir, a figure often criticized for damaging the judiciary's independence way back when, to the present day. She even singles out the former Chief Justice Qazi Faiz Issa, accusing him of being driven not by the law, but by a personal vendetta against her brother. But her criticism isn't just for state institutions. She then turns her focus inward, and she starts questioning the leadership of her brother's own political party, the PTI. She asks a very direct, very pointed question, and it's aimed right at the party's own members of the National Assembly. She's looking at these parliamentarians who, as she argues, won their seats on Imran Khan's name, and she's asking a simple question: where are you? Why aren't you guys standing with us outside the jail? She even offers her own theories for why they might be absent. She speculates it could be fear of being arrested, or maybe, just maybe, it's the comfort of high salaries and perks, and she cites figures as high as 90 lakh rupees a month. What makes their absence even worse, in her view, is her claim that Imran Khan himself had specifically asked them to be there.
Then the conversation shifts. It moves to a really serious accusation that was leveled against Naureen herself, and it was all sparked by an interview she gave to international media.
So, after speaking with Indian journalists, Naureen's comments were actually highlighted in a press conference by the DGISPR. That's the spokesperson for the Pakistani military. And this, as you can imagine, led to a fierce public backlash, with many people labeling her a traitor. This is her justification, and it's pretty plain and simple. She argues that with a complete media blackout of her brother's name and his image on local TV channels, she just had no other option. If she wanted to get her message out there, she felt she had to speak to international outlets, no matter where they were from. She then calls out what she sees as a massive double standard. She points to other political figures like Nawaz Sharif, who she claims have major business and personal ties in India, but they never ever face the same kinds of accusations of treason for those connections. So, after laying out all of these grievances, the interview pivots to the future and to Naureen's very firm belief in what she calls an inevitable day of reckoning. This gets to a core belief that she holds, that this situation, right now, simply cannot last. She truly believes that everyone involved in what she calls an injustice, from jail officials all the way up to judges, will one day have to face public accountability for their actions. For Naureen, you have to understand, this fight isn't just political, it is deeply, deeply personal. She reveals that her own son, Hassan Niazi, is being held in military custody. And then she makes this stunning claim. She says her family has never even been officially told what crime he's been charged with, an act she calls the ultimate form of lawlessness. And this brings her to her final and pretty provocative conclusion. She places her ultimate faith not in courts or in institutions, but in the people. Her final word on this is a powerful prediction, that the final judgment in this whole saga won't be delivered by a judge in a courtroom, but by the public itself. A thought that really lingers with you long after the interview is over.